For more, let's speak to Aurel Braun. He's a Professor of International Relations and Political Science at the University of Toronto. Great to have you on the program, Aurel. First time in nearly a decade. Now, the Canada-China relationship has been somewhat dormant. Can you talk a little bit about the tested relationship of the past and where both countries can try and build a more strategic relationship?
Indeed, there have been tensions, very severe ones, over the years. And China is an important player, not only internationally, but in terms of Canada as well. And the operative word being used by the Canadian government is to recalibrate the relationship. Now, this bears a kind of similarity to the reset button that the United States tried to use in 2009. And one can hope that this ends better than what happened in that relationship between the United States and Russia. But clearly, the Canadian government is putting a lot of effort into this. There's a very heavy delegation going. The foreign minister, there are people from the provinces as well. Canada, as you know, is a federation. And this is part of Canada's overall goal to diversify trade, to build greater resiliency. But again, we need to have a perspective of what can be done, what were the frictions. And I think there are areas where certainly there can be improvements, but I think we should, in a sense, calibrate also the expectations. Because with Mr. Carney, he has traveled all over the world. He has been very good at promising something to everyone. But unfortunately, the delivery has not been nearly what many have expected. And he is running a minority government, so there's also the issue of what he can deliver in terms of agreements with other players in the international system.
Right. And he said that Canada is focused on building a more competitive, sustainable and independent economy. What opportunities does that mean for China then, potentially?
Canada is a significant economy. Canada is a G7 country, as we know, a population of 41 million, highly advanced industries. And certainly, in terms of exports, China has done well. We have a large trade deficit with China. Canadian imports need to grow. Only about 4%. Exports, I mean, only about 4% of Canadian exports go to China, and China is the third largest market after the EU. The problem is that about 3/4 of our exports go to the United States, and therefore you cannot just shift that around in an entirely dramatic way. You can make incremental changes. But there are certain obstacles to that. So let me give you an example. There have been Canadian tariffs that have been placed on automobiles and vehicles produced in China, electric vehicles. And that has been done partly because there's an attempt to protect the industry in Canada, and also because of pressure from the United States. There has been retaliation on the part of China, which has hit Canada very hard when it comes to canola exports, when it comes to seafood and beef. But to change that, there's not only going to be opposition from the province of Ontario, where the automobile industry has been very hard hit, but also from the United States. So this will involve some very careful political and economic choreography on the part of both United States, Canada and China, and also in Canada's relationship with the United States.
All right, Aurel Braun, we'll leave it there. Really appreciate your insight.
Thank you.